New rules brought in to stop recreational fishers from overfishing are being welcomed by most of the sector. Previously, only 43 of 1,000 finfish species had limits. Now fishers will be restricted to bags of 20 or 30, depending on where you are. Now, you'll know Matt Watson from the ITM Fishing Show and his own Ultimate Fishing YouTube channels, which are hugely popular, and he joins us on the program this morning. Good morning, Matt. Thanks for joining us. Tell me first, your years of experience, what have you noticed in terms of fishing stocks? Are we dangerously low in some species?
In some species, yes. But what we've also got to remember is that the marine ecosystem, they all sort of work together, and sometimes not in very obvious ways. So all of the species are equally important, which is why the decision is a good one, even though it's essentially stopping the exploitation of fish that traditionally haven't been important to a lot of rec fishers, simply because we've been spoiled for choice.
Yeah, because we are hearing that the reason why these daily bag limits have been brought in is because people are changing what they're catching and eating. Are you finding that?
Yeah, absolutely. I think part of that is because in some areas, the favourite table fish like snapper have become harder to catch. And part of it is because we've got a different mix of New Zealanders now with a different palate. A lot of the species that we traditionally had that had individual bag limits on them were all the ones that were pretty much popular to your run-of-the-mill white folk, really. I think it probably comes from the time when settlers came here and they decided to eat fish that were similar to the fish that they ate back in the homeland, very white-fleshed fish. But of course, we've got a massive, diverse variety of fish here. I mean, me personally, I'd rather eat mau or kahawai than snapper.
On the fishing, on the snapper stocks that you mentioned too, I just want to bring up a survey from MPI because it found that among recreational fishers, they were hauling in 3 times as many snapper out of the inner Gulf than commercial fishers were. So we often think about commercial fishers as being the bad guys. Do recreational fishers need to take some responsibility here?
Yeah, I'll address that, but we need to look at some of the facts behind those statistics, which are a little bit amusing given that bottom trawling is banned in the inner Gulf. So bottom trawling...
So naturally there's more recreational fishers catching snapper there.
Yeah, because there's no commercial fishers, or very few commercial fishers, and the ones that are getting a few snappers bycatch, because bottom trawling is still... the commercial industry's #1 way of harvesting fish in this country. It's been outlawed in a lot of countries. So it's non-selective, it's incredibly destructive, and it ruins the habitat.
So commercial fish is still the bad guys, you think?
Yeah, no, I'm not going to throw commercial fish under the bus and say they're bad guys. The men and women that are working out in the ocean love the ocean and the sea as much as I do. The system is geared towards shareholders making a profit.
Yeah.
And when people see the fish and our beautiful treasured resource as dollar signs, that's when it becomes bad. And the control needs to go back into the hands of the people that care about it.
And that's, I guess, why these daily bag limits have been brought into place. Matt Watson, our fishing expert, thank you very much for joining us on the program this morning. Sorry, we have to leave it there.